So we're here, fortunate enough to have Brian Joseph, the organizer of the Lake Breeze Music Festival, and one of the headline artist who's joining us for Lake Breeze, Vincent Ingala. Vincent, thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you in just a moment, but first, let's set the groundwork. Brian, talk to us about this event. Remind us what's happening next weekend.
Well, next weekend on July 8th, we have the Lake Breeze Music Festival. Gates open at 5. Concert starts at 6. The opening act is flautist Kim Scott. And then secondly, we have the great pianist Alex Bugnon. And then the headliner of the night, the one and only Vincent Ingala. And we're excited to have Vincent back. Vincent was here in 2018 and literally blew the Shadowland Pavilion away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the most talented guy I've seen in many, many years. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have Tabor Hill Winery and this great music and this great backdrop of the channel and Lake Michigan and the beautiful sunset in the background. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. And of course, the weekend is also the Krauzel Art Fair on the Bluff. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have tons of people in town and a lot of the artists who sell their great product up on the bluff. They're excited that music is back on the same weekend as the Krauzel Art Fair on the Bluff, because it's been missing for 2 years, and the whole community, the whole area is excited that we're bringing back some phenomenal music and some great talent once again.
Outstanding. Thank you, Brian. And Vincent, thanks for joining us today. Billboard crowned you Smooth Jazz Artist of the Year. Sirius XM Watercolors called you the Breakthrough Artist of the Year. Those who have seen you perform know why, but thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about what people who see you on July 8th can expect.
Well, it's great to be with you guys this morning. First of all, thank you for having me on. As Brian said earlier, we had an absolute blast back in 2018, a very memorable night. It was just a beautiful venue, and with the sun setting in the back on the lake, it was just very memorable. So when we heard we were returning, we were very thrilled, and I'm going to have my whole band with me this time. And we're going to take you through a little musical journey, my original music. We're going to bridge the gap between some old school R&B, take it back, some old school stuff. And then do a little tribute to, the jazz greats like the Crusaders, and we're just gonna give everybody a little mishmash of everything, and of course a lot of entertainment mixed in there. So it's just we're really looking forward to returning, and there's been a great support system from the Michigan area. A lot of fans up there, a lot of people that have been awaiting this night. So it's just going to be a picture perfect summer evening, and we really can't wait. It's going to be great.
Now, Vincent, I know you're in your early 30s, so you're still young, and to be such a breakout artist and to be here a few years ago and just the energy that we can expect. What do you consider old school? Because you're not that old. So what do you consider old school?
Well, I know people laugh sometimes at that. I'm an old soul. First of all, I was born in the wrong era. My father was a DJ back in the dance era, disco, the club scene. He was an old school disc jockey. So I literally grew up with vinyl, actual vinyl, and old school to me is, cutting edge R&B, 70s funk, soul. My father in particular had an affinity for horn groups like, Mandrill and Brass Construction, BT Express, so I mean, my father went deep. And he passed all that down to me, and I listened to all that growing up, and I had all these influences up here in my head. I absorbed it all like a sponge, and I think a lot of that influence comes out in my original music. It's we're playing smooth contemporary jazz, but I think my music has a lot of R&B influence in it. A little more cutting edge stuff going on, and I like to bring out all those influences from back in the day, because it's just I love everything. I love all types of music, so I have him to thank for that. So I think that's old school, and then we'll do some sure. Slow jams, like one of my favorites to do in the show, and I'll play it that night is Alexander O'Neill, If You Were Here Tonight, a cover that I did back in 2018. And so just kind of like just kind of bridge the gap between everything, the original music, and show an appreciation to the music of the past that kind of brought us to this genre, what it has become today.
Absolutely.
Now, you were here back in 2018, and
Yes.
you're back here in 2023. There was this little thing between that, in that span of time, called the pandemic, where we saw a lot of venues just not open.
Right.
You're back on tour. What does it feel like to have it back in full swing?
Thankfully, it feels like we never stopped. I mean, it was a tumultuous time, when literally the whole world shut down, as we know. And it was very scary. We weathered the storm, thank God. We were all very uncertain of what the future was going to hold. Like you said, a lot of venues were closed indefinitely until further notice, and struggling to keep open. But, there are some days that, while we never forget that time and never take it for granted, there are days where it seems like it never happened, and it's a blur because it was a little slow to start coming out of it. But now it's like, I actually think music has come back in full force, stronger than it was before the pandemic, because people, number one, were starving for live music. Right. During the pandemic. We had a lot of great opportunities via Zoom and online concerts to stay connected, but there's nothing like that magic of being in concert together and going to a live performance, real musicians on stage interacting in real time. And in part two of that is, I think that, we don't really miss something until it's taken away from us, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we took it for granted before, but we kind of just bounced back into the live touring scene with a renewed sense of gratefulness that we're able to do this. And we know that any time like that, overnight, something could strip it all away. So every time I take the stage and me and my band, we're thankful beyond belief, and we're grateful to see everybody that comes out to support live music, because we're a team. If they're not there, we're not there, so we wouldn't be able to make music or keep performing or touring without opportunities. And especially like Brian, you guys having us back, we're just so grateful, and we'll keep the music alive as long as we can.
It's outstanding. Yeah. Everything that we have seen shows that live music is where it's at. People want to be there. They want to enjoy it. They want to experience it. Like you said, heart made it grow. The absence made the heart grow fond. Mm. So it's good. Brian, how do we make sure that people have an opportunity to see Vincent and everyone else who's performing?
Well, they need to go to www.lakebreezemusicfestival.com. Reserve seats are $40. General admission is $30. And I'm telling you, it is the hot ticket for the summer in Southwest Michigan. And my phones have been ringing off the hook this week. Jerry Price, my business partner, his phone's been ringing, and everybody's like, okay, we got to get our tickets. I'm like, yeah, you better get your tickets, because tickets are selling at a nice clip at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Outstanding. Lake Breeze Music Festival, Saturday, July 8th. Get your tickets now before they're gone.
So thank you, Ken. Thank you, Johnny. And I know, Vincent, you know this name really well. We want to thank the great Gail Olson, because he's the one who gave Jerry and I the date to do it the first weekend in July with the Krauzel Art Fair on the Bluff. And we also want to thank the great Sturgis Bank and Bob Birch and Leanne Brownfield for stepping up and supporting Jerry and I in this event. So it's a team effort, Vince, as you can see, with Johnny and Ken and Gail Olson at the radio station and Sturgis Bank. So guys, we can't thank you enough for your support. So Vincent, I know you're going to come in. I know you're going to blow the place apart.
We're going to do our best, baby. We're going to do our best.
How many instruments are you going to play, Vincent?
Well, I don't want to give everything away, but I'm gonna bounce around. I'm gonna hop around. No doubt.
I know you do, because I know you do. At one point when you were back here in 2018, I couldn't find you because I was like, "Where is he now?" Oh, he's behind the drum set, and then he's like, "He just disappeared." It's a magic show.
We're gonna jump around. That's for sure. We're gonna jump around. So
cool.
We are looking forward to it.
Great.
It's gonna be great. Thanks, Vincent. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, guys. Hope to see everybody. Come on out. And tickets are also on my website as well, vincentingala.com. The Lake Breeze Jazz Festival link is right there. And it's coming up.